there was a stirring that took place kind of in my own heart, a burden to create space for our worship teams. There was a burden for us to create space for our team to kind of be together. So really creating a retreat setting for our team, our leaders, to be together, to be encouraged and be equipped to serve. And we really did not have a 12-year, strategic plan. We're going to create a conference. We really were just like, let's create space for our teams to come together. It ended up being just over 400 that first year. That was the only year the conference hasn't sold out. But we realized after that year that we'd stumbled onto something.
Welcome to the Worship Robs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 362 of the Worship Probs podcast. Man, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the pod, episode 362, man. 7 years, 362 episodes. And this one's going to be one for the record books. Got a great episode for you. So whatever you're doing, maybe you're driving or you're working out, or maybe this is part of your quiet time, whatever you're doing, get ready, because I've got a great episode for you today. As always, of course, we got prayer concerns for you, packed with some laughs that'll make you take a breath, maybe spit out a little bit of whatever you're drinking, a little spit take there on some of your bottled water, because some of the prayer concerns are going to be awesome. And then I sat down recently with my great friend, David Cummings, and just an incredible leader doing great things for the kingdom. And if that name is new to you, you will absolutely love him. He's been on a few times, and I always look forward to a conversation with David. And I'm really pumped to share this convo with you. So thanks for hanging out today, or whenever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. And before we dive in, I want to give some love to our incredible partners. They've really been with us since day one on the podcast, our great friends at Planning Center. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. Well, the Worship Probs podcast is thrilled to have one of our friends back, David Cummings. David, welcome back to the pod.
It's great to be with you again, Brian. We absolutely love what you do through Worship Probs, brother.
Oh man, yeah. I would say this: you're one of my favorite people. You always have been, and just always love. That's not a line. That's real, legit truth, man. And so, how's your fall going? Christmas prep and all that good stuff.
Fall is beautiful in northern Indiana. The leaves are that beautiful orange, yellow color. So fall in ministry is going well too, getting settled in here. And man, Christmas is going to be here soon, very soon. So excited for that. Can't wait to see how God uses the ministry here to continue to impact lives in that season. So
amen.
It's always a little crazy as we prepare for that and for Refuel Conference as well.
Gosh,
so,
yes.
but It's been a great summer and a great fall.
Man, I'm so glad. I always tell people, don't sleep on Indiana in the fall, man. Indiana leaves. It's pretty awesome.
You know.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we like to have a little fun here. You've probably done this one before, but welcome back to the hot seat. I've got 5 like rapid fire questions here. Okay, number 1, what's the perfect pizza order at your house?
Oh, thin crust, sausage and pepperoni pizza. That's for me. That's the perfect. If it's my kids, they just want cheese.
Yeah. Got it. We got to get that protein,
That's right.
We're men. We got to get some protein in. Okay, number 2, what's the last song you played on your phone?
Ooh, last song I played on my phone. I'm gonna have to look that up. Because it was on the way into work. Oh, you know what it was? It was Same God. I think that's Elevation.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was the last song I played.
Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a really good one. Okay, number 3, if you were gonna pick a superpower, what would you choose?
So I've been asked this question before, and then I get judged when I respond. So I tread very lightly into this question, but I would want to be able to read minds.
Ooh, yeah.
So I know what everyone's thinking, but I would want to be able to turn it on and off.
Oh,
so
yeah. You need a switch.
Yeah.
So especially as a worship leader, it'd be good to know, like, okay, what's going on out there,
Yeah, when someone's crying, you want to know, like, are they connecting what's happening, or are they, they've got the proverbial arms crossed and just kind of looking straight forward. You go like, do they hate me right now? Or are they going like, this is really awesome, but they just look like they hate it.
Exactly.
It'd be so helpful.
It'd be really good to have. It'd be really good. Okay, number 4.
Or when my wife, that would be really helpful too.
Yeah,
like when she gives you the look, and it's like,
I'd use probably the switch a lot with my wife. I'd need the on and off switch, the on and off. But okay, number 4, what's a perfect day off look like for you?
Oh man, I love the outdoors, Brian, and so a perfect day off would involve me being outdoors, and it could be on a hike, on a walk, on a run, on a bike ride, but it could also just be me being out in my yard. I love to. I love gardening, which sounds kind of weird, but I love working in the yard. Mowing, trimming stuff, planting stuff. So outdoors is my favorite place to be.
I love that. Okay, so I like to garden as well. I don't like vegetables, and I would love to get there someday, but like landscaping and all that, I always tell people my dad was a concrete guy. And so he had tangible like examples. What he did that day, he could touch and see. Like in ministry, we don't always have tangible. And so I identify with that, man. That's things I love about gardening and landscaping. Like, I'm like, look, there's a dead bush there. And I went and applied my hands, and now it's all looks good again.
Yeah. You get the rewards and the challenges that come with landscaping, because sometimes you go like, yep, I killed that bush. I got you.
That's exactly right. I've killed a few in my day. That's for sure. Okay. Last one here. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would be a dream job that you think you'd be chasing?
I've always thought it would have been fun to be a pilot of like a big 747.
Yeah, man.
Or a truck driver. Just because I would get to see lots and lots, like an over the road, I think they call it, truck driver, where you're like, but I like people too much to be a truck driver, because you spend a lot of time by yourself.
A lot of time alone.
So I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. I can relate to all of those. I think we might be related back somewhere in we need to check the logs.
the genealogy.
Well, thrilled to have you back on today. We love you, and you have been and continue to be such an encouragement to me personally. And look, for our listeners, can you remind us a bit about your story?
Yeah. So personally, I've been in ministry now for 26 years. Grew up in the church. That's where I first kind of fell in love with Jesus, fell in love with worship as a young guy. And that really started my youth group days, really started the journey for me of following Jesus. and sensing a call into ministry. It was when I was about 21 when the Lord kind of arrested my attention. And I would say that would be the moment when I fully surrendered my life to him and said, okay, Lord, whatever you want from me, I'm all in. And the rest is kind of history, but I've had the opportunity to serve. And now this is the third ministry I've been part of, but I served for 8 years in a church where I started as a youth and young adult and worship pastor. Spent 8 years there. Then I spent
Beautiful
17 years.
What a combo. What a combo.
It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I spent 17 years serving at a larger church where I was a little bit more of a specialist as a worship and creative arts pastor. And just in the last 6 months, went through a transition where I transitioned from that church and stepped into a new role at a church kind of in the same area that I was serving in before, but in a broader pastoral role. And so God's taken us on this really kind of unique and cool journey with that, and really excited for the role I'm in now in this season at the church I'm at now. So it's been an amazing journey, but also married 26 years, been married 26 years, have an incredible wife. And we have 3 kids that are all a little bit older. I've got a 21-year-old, a 19-year-old, and then a 17-year-old. So
okay, so the only thing I've got to push back on is you're throwing out some big numbers, but you still look like you're 22. How does that work? Is that just clean living, or is that Northern Indiana water? What's going on?
I think it's the cold temperatures in the winter in Indiana.
Okay,
they just help tone the skin nicely.
Sure. Well, I'm going to be spending a lot of time outside this winter, then, I can tell you that. Well, you lead an incredible team of people that are responsible for putting on Refuel Conference, which is one of our favorite gatherings. I'm honored to be coming back. I think this would be my 4th year in a row, I believe. And I just love the heart of this conference. Much like what we're doing here at Worship Probs, it was born out of the local church, like out of a need in the local church. So can you tell us a little bit about how this came to be?
Yeah, so it's been 12, this will be our 13th year, 12 years ago. There was a stirring that took place kind of in my own heart, a burden to create space for our worship teams. At that point, I was leading the worship creative arts choir ministry at a large church. And it was a burden for us to create space for our team to kind of be together. So really creating a retreat setting for our team, our leaders, to be together, to be encouraged and be equipped to serve our local church. I invited a couple of friends to come in and be part of that. They were speakers and worship leaders for that. After that event happened, they said to me, we were kind of debriefing it, and they said, Dave, through coming and being part of this, number one, it was awesome. Number two, we realized, man, we need something like this for our team. Now, there's a lot of great conferences around the U.S. There's great conferences, and I've attended some of those as a staff person. But the unique thing about what became Refuel Conference is that it's priced at a point and in a way that worship leaders can bring their entire staff, their entire worship team, their entire production team to come and be part of it. So it becomes a shared experience. So after that first year, we were like, well, okay, we'll take a run at this. We'll just invite a few friends. And we really did not have a 12-year, strategic plan. We're going to create a conference. We really were just like, let's create space for our teams to come together. We'll invite a couple of friends. We thought maybe there'd be 6 to 8 worship teams that might jump in. And I remember it was early January of that year. I asked one of the gals that was working with me on it. I said, hey, could you just give me a report on how many churches are registered? And this was the first year. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have a plan. And she came in my office and she was kind of like really somber. And I'm like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, I don't know if this is what you expected, Dave, but there's 170 churches registered. And I was like, wait, what? And at that point, about 400 and some people had signed up. Wow. So it ended up being just over 400 that first year. That was the only year the conference hasn't sold out. But we realized after that year that we'd stumbled onto something. Yeah, we've learned a lot. We've developed some amazing partnerships. Brian, you and your wife and your team have been an incredible encouragement to us. We value your partnership in what we do. And so now here we are 12 years later. And ever since that year, the conference has just continued to sell out. We've talked about moving it to a larger space, but it just felt like we're supposed to be at Bethel University for as long as they'll have us. And they've been an incredible partner with us over the years, allowing us to use their space there, the campus. And so that's a little bit of the backstory, but the purpose has never changed, Brian. It was always to create time and space for worship and production teams to be together, to be encouraged, and to be equipped to continue to lead their local church. And I think that mission, that vision is where we initially connected, because you're going like, that's why we do what we do. So that's a little bit of the story that leads us up to where we are today.
Well, it's so exciting, man. And we're cheering you on, because I'm not kidding you. It is in the best way. It is a really unique gathering of people, and there's going to be, it is going to be all kinds of hands-on, great workshops, all that kind of stuff. But it's like the spiritual temperature at this event is something that really, really hits different. So we're going to gather in Mishawaka, Indiana, as you said, on the campus of Bethel University, January 23rd and 24th. Here in coming up in 2026, we do have a discount code for our listeners, and it's limited, so you're going to have to get it while it's hot. Okay, Worship Probs Rocks 2026 is the code, and you'll find all of that at the link in our bio, and it'll give you that code as well. So use it. Bring your teams with you. So, like David, like what's a bullseye look like? Like, who is Refuel for, and who should be coming?
Okay. So if I had to pare it all the way down, I would say, if you can't bring your whole team, your whole worship and production team, whether they're staff or volunteers, if you can't bring them all, that's the bullseye. Bring as many of your team, worship and production team. But if you had to pare it down and say, we can only afford to bring 5 or 6, I would go bring your movers and shakers. So bring your leaders. You come and bring your leaders with you. Whatever that may look like in your church. Those could be volunteers, it could be staff. That's the other thing that's unique about Refuel, is that it does seem to attract a very wide cross-section of the church, numerically, small churches to mega churches, leaders that are volunteer, part-time, full-time, and ecumenically, if that's the right word, like from very conservative to charismatic and everything kind of in between. So it kind of creates this beautiful melting pot that I kind of wonder if heaven will be a little like it. So, so bring your teams, bring your staff, bring your volunteers, bring everybody you can that serves in worship and production in your church.
Yeah, and it is great. It is a great gathering. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the guests you have lined up, and really the takeaway for teams has so much tremendous potential. That the lineup is stacked, incredible workshops for all different disciplines on your team. Tell us a little bit about who's coming.
So our keynotes coming this year, we've got a couple of people returning that have been there before. So Rita Springer is a friend of the conference. She'll be leading worship and speaking in one of our main sessions. A good friend of ours, Scott Longyear, he is going to be one of our keynote speakers this year. He's been there before. A new face, a new member of the Refuel family that's coming this year is Kim Walker. So Kim Walker Smith will be there. She'll be leading worship and speaking in some breakouts. And then an old friend of ours, they're just kind of restarting. And so I'm really excited. I think we're one of their first or second big events since kind of restarting, but Vertical Worship will be back with us. Judd Harris and the team is going to be there. They'll be leading in worship, facilitating breakouts as well. Now, there's a long list of partners, and I don't know if you want me to mention them or not, but there's a long list of other partners and guests that are coming to be breakout speakers.
Yeah, man.
So some of those include Kyle and Lauren Smith, a lady, Virginia Ware, she's a speaker. Carlos Garcia is kind of a new friend of ours. He's Kim Walker's drummer. He'll be doing a workshop. Jared Warren with Easy Worship. Lamar Boschman, worship coach. He's a legend, been around a long time.
Absolutely.
The organization Cordy will be there. Brian, you and your wife will be there with Worship Probs. Josh Howlicki, he's from E2I Design out of Colorado. Caitlin Caggiano, I think we both know her. She's an incredible musician and trainer. Derek Kerr with Loop Community. Doug and Sherry Gould. Doug is with Worship MD. And Resi's going to be there. They're a new partnership. I probably missed one or two, but those are some that are just right there at the front of my mind. But those organizations and people, they really make Refuel Conference. You guys, Worship Props makes Refuel Conference what it is by coming and being willing to invest into the lives of worship and production leaders and their teams.
Oh man, well, we are honored to be there. I say that with a clear conscience, man. We're cheering you on. It is an incredible event, guys. 10 out of 10. And I love everything about it. And one of the things I love is you're holding it in a part of the country that doesn't get a lot of events like this. And so, man, I have a real dear friend who listens to the podcast, Luke Anderson, who's a senior pastor in Sarnia, Ontario. He's coming down from Canada. So Refuel Conference is international. It draws an international crowd. And guys, you just need to join us. I promise you, you will not regret it. It's a great gathering.
I would add a couple things to that. One is I would encourage your listeners, if you're listening, don't wait until January. This event sells out. And so, or if you wait until January, jump in that first week, because normally right around the 1st of January, we cap out. And that's the last 11 years, we've sold about 1,200 tickets, and that's capacity for that event. Last year, I think people came from 15 different states, at least. That's what we know. So people are coming from all over the place, but I always feel horrible when I get the emails going, "Hey, we just tried to sign up. I know I'm a little late. Can you get us in?" And I'm like, "I am really sorry." So if you're thinking you might want to sign up to come, go get some tickets sooner than later, so at least you can lock in. There is a group discount rate as well as the Worship Probs discount promo code that you mentioned earlier. So jump in, bring your team.
Yeah, don't wait, man. I promise you, it is packed. And David is a really powerful guy, but the one thing he can't do is manifest more seating capacity at the school. So it is a great gathering, and I hope to see you all there. Okay, you've answered this one before. We always like to share those moments where maybe when things didn't go quite as planned. Have you ever had you probably never had a moment like that, David. You're the pro's pro, man.
Well, I could share a number of embarrassing moments that have happened in front of people. Anytime you stand on a platform, and whether you're a speaker or a worship leader or a comedian, you're gonna make some mistakes that are rather funny to lots of people. So I think I've shared a couple on the podcast before, but I don't think I've shared this one. This was one that happened a few years ago where I was leading worship on a Sunday morning. The team was just crushing it. It was amazing. It was going great. And I had chosen that day to wear I think they must have been my tightest pair of skinny jeans. And this might have been just before they, made them elastic now. And I'm leading in our first service, 8:00 service. We're giving it all we can. And I kind of bend it over and I turn just a little bit. And I hear this.
Oh, bad deal.
And, from the top to the bottom, it just kind of split. The seas parted. And I'm like, uh-oh, but I'm in the middle of the worship service.
Oh, gosh.
And so I kind of not trying to be crude, but, just kind of try to keep my legs together and finish the set.
Yeah.
And then I hurried off as fast as I can. At that point, we lived 2 minutes from the church. And so I show up and my wife is like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it." Ran in, grabbed another pair, scooted back just in time to jump in for the worship set that was after the message. But that was definitely, the whole team kind of got a little bit of a view. So that's one. That's just one. I could tell you more, but that's one that was definitely up there for embarrassing.
My Lord. That's unbelievable. So when I was, I don't know if you ever served in a church where they voted on staff members. So my very first church I was in, I had been an intern for 6 months. And they decided it took me 6 months to pass the test or whatever. And so they decided this is the Sunday we're going to vote. It was December. And we had a big Christmas rehearsal on Saturday. So I'm coming in Sunday morning, and this would have been in the 90s. So I was coat and tie. and I come in and I'm cleaning some stuff off the stage, and I bend over to pick up something, and I split, much as you did, my suit pants completely out. And the problem is I lived like 45 minutes away. So going home was not an option for me. So we had like a hired organist who came in every Sunday, and she would sit backstage and knit. And so I'm scrambling around backstage. I'm alone, thankfully, and I'm like, what in the world am I going to do? So I had light gray dress pants that had split, and all I found in her bag was a giant knitting needle and brown yarn. And so, man, I went in the bathroom backstage, and I've never knitted before or since, but man, I got it so it held. It at least held for
Oh,
the rest of the day, man. But there's no panic quite like splitting your pants on a Sunday.
no, no,
That's pretty wild.
no.
That's pretty
Wow, that's
wild.
an incredible story. I mean,
Well,
I would almost qualify you now as a professional knitter. I think you can add that to your list of skills.
there you go. I'll put it in the bio. I'll put it in the bio. Well, guys, we're going to get to the big room question here in just a second, but we're so glad you're listening today. Make sure you go follow refuel_conf, CONF, as well as follow Dave_Cummings on the social. And just make plans to join us, man. If you're anywhere within driving distance of Indiana, you got to get there. And I can, it's tropical in Mishawaka in late January. You're going to have a great time. It's an incredible conference. So, okay, Dave, we always end with this question, the big room question. So if we could gather all the worship leaders and all their volunteers, all the production leaders and all their volunteers, and got them all together in one big room, and we gave you a microphone, what would you want to say to them about what we do in the local church?
Well, I think I would start with something really simple. And this has been something that's been on my heart the last week or so in particular, is just the simple idea, remember to remember. And you go, what do you mean by that, Dave? Remember to remember. Remember the good things. I think that when you're in the week-to-week grind, maybe that's the wrong word, but like Sunday comes every week, right? It's really easy to forget the good. And I think when we forget the good, gratitude shrinks in our hearts, and we forget to just stop and say, thanks, God. We forget to just allow gratitude to kind of stir and well. We just forget the good things because we can be so focused on what's next. So remember to remember the good things. I think also remember to remember God's faithfulness and who He is.
Amen. Come on.
I think that's a really powerful thing to do because we forget so easily. Life can get challenging, difficult. You can walk through seasons where you begin to question, God, are you in this?
Yeah,
are you
absolutely.
with me? What is going on? And that could be really broad. It could be personal. It could be health issues. It could be financial issues. It could be ministry issues where you just go, God, where are you? And it's in those moments, I think it's so critical to remember what God has done. Remember how He's brought you through things. The people of Israel had the hardest time with that. And I don't think they're different than us. Yeah. It was 3 days after they'd gone through the Red Sea that it's almost like they totally forgot that the most powerful force in the universe, Yahweh, Elohim, He was with them. He brought them through the Red Sea. And then 3 days later, it's like they forgot and they begin to doubt. And I think we're a lot like that. And so I would challenge us to remember God's goodness, remember the good things in your life, because otherwise you can become really cynical or doubt. And sometimes you need people to help you to do that. Sometimes you need to go back to God's word and go, God, who are you in this? So remember to remember would be my coaching, my talking point, I think. So what I would want to challenge worship leaders to do, especially heading into a really busy season with Christmas right in front of us.
Yeah. Boy, that's so good, man. That's so good. Man, we absolutely love you. I feel like we need to do this way more than once a year. And I'm going to make that happen in 26 because you're a gift to all of us who serve local churches. And we're grateful for all the whole team that is involved in Refuel. It's just an incredible event. I hope you guys that are listening will make plans to join us here for Refuel Conference 2026. It's January 23rd and 24th. There's a link in our bio, and that link is labeled with a discount code. There's a limited number of those codes. So make sure you use it while you can get it. It'll save you a little bit of money, and maybe that enables you to bring another person or two, which would be a bullseye for your team and for the conference. And so, and we'll tag Refuel and Dave in the caption as well. So make sure you go follow all of them. And David, we love you, man. I can't wait to see you in January.
Likewise, brother. Thank you so much. We can't wait to have you and Worship Probs come and be part of Refuel Conference again in 2026. Love you, brother.
Man, David is just the realest of the real. What you see is what you get. And those folks at Refuel are doing an incredible job. And I hope you join us for that. And that kind of leads us into one of my favorite segments. One of my favorite segments. It's time for prayer concerns. So if you're just joining us, prayer concerns, the savage comments that you get from the people in your church. They didn't like your music choice. They didn't like that you didn't do any hymns. The songs were the wrong tempo. It was too loud. The way the lights went in their eyes, or what you wore. It's like all manner of, and we just do these not to make fun of anybody or laugh at anybody. We want to laugh with you, and we want these to help you just take a deep breath and remind you you're not in this by yourself. We're all wrestling the same alligators out here. So we share these on the podcast every week. Send yours in to us. Go to our website, worshipleaderprobs.com. Click on prayer concerns up in the menu, and you can submit yours there. You can also DM those to us on any of the socials. You will always be anonymous, as will your church. So let's dive right in. Prayer concern number 1. You're not a very good worship leader because you don't play acoustic guitar. Keys players or non-instrumentalists, have you ever felt that? I've felt that. I tried to play guitar for a while, and as a keys player, I just couldn't do it, man. My left hand, I couldn't flip it over and make those ridiculous contortions of my hand to make those guitar chords. I couldn't do it. So I guess that makes me not a very good worship leader because I don't play acoustic guitar either. So if you're with me, you're in good company. Okay, number 2, prayer concern number 2. A lady once told me my haircut looked like North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un's haircut. I don't know if that's a positive. It doesn't sound like a positive. She always has the option of not saying that, but you might take a trip down to Great Clips and, get a little something shaved off the top. I don't know. That's a wild one. But we probably shouldn't be talking about people's hair. It's kind of insulting. Okay, number 3, prayer concern number 3. I was a guest speaker one time, and a deacon came up to me and said, "Son, we don't wear blue jeans in the Lord's house." So I started to unbuckle my belt. He changed his mind really quickly. Look, I'm not advocating that you do that to a deacon in your church or an elder or whatever your polity looks like. But that's pretty savage. That was a savage concern and a savage reply. And I'm kind of here for that. Okay, number 4, prayer concern number 4. We recently got a message that said, the way you changed the time signature of that hymn broke the rules of music. Okay, so that could be an insult. It could also be like a mind blower kind of. So I'm going to choose to take that as the mind, like you blew people's minds. You changed the time signature of a hymn, something well known. You did it and it blew people's minds. That's how I'm going to take it. If you can choose to take them as positive, do it. Choose joy, whatever. Okay, here's the last one. The bottom of the pudding cup, prayer concern number 5. After a service, a man came up to me and said, "I'm reminded that sound is used as a form of torture in some countries." Now that one, there's really no way to take that positively. I don't think that they just didn't care for what you did. And, I probably would laugh. If that was me, I would probably laugh at that one. Certainly we're not trying to torture people. So, oh my goodness. So, fam, those are prayer concerns. Send yours in to us, worshipleaderprobs.com. Click on prayer concerns up in the menu or DM those to us on the socials. You'll always remain anonymous. Well, we have a really wild season coming up, and we hope you'll enjoy. We hope you'll join us for one of these incredible conferences that we're going to be at. We just talked with David about Refuel Conference. It's coming up January 23rd and 24th up in Mishawaka, Indiana at Bethel University. You just heard all about it. It's an incredible gathering. I hope you join us. Link in the bio with that discount code Worship Probs Rocks 2026, all one word. Use that, save yourself some money. It might enable you to bring another member of your team. And then the next weekend, Worship 424 Conference, January 30th and 31st, Cedarville University in Cedarville, Ohio. Man, Uncle Paul Balash is going to be there. A whole gathering of incredible speakers, great workshops, incredible, meaningful worship. And I've been hearing great things about this conference for a long time. It'll be my first time to be there. I'm really, really honored to be coming. We'll record an episode of the Worship Probs podcast with a live audience. And there's a link in our bio for you to register for Worship 424. Love to see you over in Cedarville if you're over in Ohio. And then, in February, the Become Conference. It's New Jersey Worship, the Y Conference. It's titled Become this year, February 7th, 2026. It's in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Kim and I will be there teaching, and Kim's going to do a vocal master class. And then a new friend of ours, Alexandra de Jesus Gomez, the founder of Free Worship, will be there. And this is put on by the State Assembly of God worship ministry, but everybody's welcome. If you're in another kind of church, another brand, as they say. If you're up in the Northeast somewhere, join us up in New Jersey in February. That's a great day. Last year, was the first one. They had almost 500 people. Incredible gathering. Our friends David and Karen Henry are kind of leading that team, and they do just an unbelievable job. They're incredible people. That's going to be a day that will be really, really incredible. And then if you're looking a little further out, Experience Conference 2026. There's a link in our bio for this, as well as a discount code PROBS26. That's the discount code. These are all labeled in our campsite. So I know there's a lot of events to talk about right now, and we're super excited about all of them. But this PROBS26 discount code for Experience next year, that's going to save you $30 a person. So man, if you're a larger team and you're going to bring a few folks with you, it won't take you too long. You're saving $30 each time. That might get you, it's almost like getting a free registration. And so join us. That's September 8th through the 11th. You got, like 10 months to plan for bringing your folks with you. It's going to be great. They've already released some killer speakers and artists, like our friends Red Rocks Worship will be back next year. And it's at Walt Disney World in Orlando. It's a great gathering. I hope you'll join us. And then Worship Karaoke. Make sure you're following us on YouTube at Worship Probs. We're dropping new episodes of Worship Karaoke every couple of weeks and having just an absolute blast with that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. But make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just in total candor, we went through a little bit of a situation with our name a couple years ago. We lost our YouTube channel, and we had to start over. And so we got to get to 1,000 subscribers. It unlocks a bunch of stuff inside of YouTube. So we're like 80 away from 1,000, and we got thousands of people who will listen to this episode. So do us a favor, jump over to YouTube, find Worship Probs. There's tons of great content on there, but hit that subscribe button. It'll help us, and we would be eternally grateful. And last but not least, Kim and I are booking our dates for serving local churches in 2026. We'd love to come and be at your church. Maybe you're looking for guest worship leaders. We'd love to come and fill in. If you're looking for somebody to come and lead your team through a retreat, we're doing lots of those for churches. It's so special when a team, team can gather together and walk through an experience all together. And we will come to you, and we do all kinds of stuff about spiritual prep and intimacy with the Lord. And there's practical tools as well in that day. And we can kind of tailor that to look how you want it to look. So shoot me an email, info@worshipleaderprobs.com. Got a few dates left for 2026, and we'd love to fill those and come and serve your church. Well, guys, we're always, always grateful that you take some time to spend it with us here on the podcast. Remember to hit subscribe wherever you listen. And as I've been saying for 7 years, do us a favor. Apple Podcast is it's like the hub that turns the wheel in the podcast world. So if you would go to Apple Podcast, if you're in an iPhone, there's a podcast app on your phone. Just go in there, find Worship Probs, leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review. It just helps with the metrics and helps get the word about the podcast out there. Thanks too for following and engaging on all the socials. We're at Worship Probs on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Threads. And then over on TikTok, we're at Worship Leader Probs. And we'd love to have you join our private community group on Facebook, the Worship Probs community group. There's a link in our bio for that, or just search Worship Probs on Facebook and you'll find it. There's 3 very, very easy questions to join that group. Answer them or I can't let you in. I let a spammer in once who looked right, but didn't answer the questions. And I had to kick them to the curb. So answer the questions. Love to have you join us in there. It's different content than all of our other platforms. It's really leaders helping leaders. And so we'd love to have you join us over there. And huge thanks to my friend, Allie Bajanos, Allie B Creative. She's just, man, I've run out of words to describe Allie. She's just the best in the biz. And I promise you, if your comms team or you need a website for your company, even if it's not a church, you sell cookies, cupcakes, hats, whatever it is. Allie's your girl. She can help you. We'll tag her in the description. Reach out. You need some social media coaching or logos or websites or whatever you need. Allie can do it for you and she will knock it out of the park. And thanks to my friend Scott Hoke for our voiceover intro. We love Scott. If you need voiceover work, there's a link in our bio to talk to Scott as well. You can have him do narration for your church videos or whatever you're looking for. He is a pro and a voice over guy and a television host for Meekum Auctions and just does an incredible job. And I know he would do an incredible job for you as well. Guys, thanks so much for listening today to episode 362. Until next time, deuces.